Good evening, everyone. We are back with another live today. And today also, I've chosen a theme which is very, very, very important from the point of view of personal development, personal growth. What is the topic today? So here it is, showing at the bottom of the screen how to be more self aware. This is one of my favorite subjects. And this is what I talk about in a variety of themes because to grow in any area of your life, you need to be self aware, right? Simple. So, before I proceed further to discuss about my topic that I've chosen today, what I would like to share is I am doing an online program which is called Career Acceleration Program, or in simple words, I call it Career Acceleration Through Self Discipline CATS Boot Camp. Bootcamp word is very important because that emphasizes that you need to take an action within the program itself. And that's where you see your growth. So, what I assure you is when you become a part of that program, you will start noticing some change within yourself within the first 24 hours. And this is a festive season going on, so I have created a special offer. And if you want to become a part of that, know more about special offer, which is actually one plus one person makes the investment and that person can bring in another person as a part of the program, right? So I think it's quite time that you uh, do the registration. And how to do that, I'm sharing with you all the link here, and the link will be shared in the comments also. So become a part of that program and understand how you can walk on the path of continuous learning and continuous growth. I assure you, it'll be a worthwhile investment to make. So let us come back to today's topic, which is how to be more self aware. How to be more self aware. And before I proceed about what are some of the things that you can start doing to be more self aware, I would like you to pay attention to these three words, which are at the bottom of your screen. Awareness precedes change. You need to understand that any change that you want to make in yourself, and if you ask yourself, do you need to make any change in yourself? The answer is likely to be yes, because no one is perfect and there is always a possibility of growth in any area of your life. And sometimes it happens that one area shines at the cost of another area. So there is always a scope of improvement, and improvement demands change, and change demands awareness. You can't make any change unless you are aware of it, right? If you are not aware that you have a tendency to be angry, you won't make any change there. If you're not aware that you have stage fear, you'll not work on that. Like this, there are many things that are within us which need a sense of awareness. And when that awareness comes in, it starts leading to change, which is positive, which is helpful in growth. And that contributes to professional development. And these three words, which I've taken, just shared with you, awareness precedes change. I read them in one of Robin Sharma's book many, many years ago, and they have become my favorites. Three important words: awareness precedes change, APC. So now the question is, how do we start becoming more aware about ourselves? First is give time to self. So if I ask you this question, who is the most important person in your life? What do you think your answer will be? Many people say that my mother, my father, my brother, my sister, my spouse, my child, these are the most important people. Yes, they must remain the most important people. However, I always say that you need to bring yourself to the top of your priority list. Why? Because whatever you do for yourself, you will be able to replicate it for others. If you take care of yourself, you will be able to encourage others to take care of themselves. What you don't have, you can't give to others. It's as simple as that. An empty cup cannot overflow. You can look at it from that perspective. So start giving time to yourself And when you give time to yourself, what will happen? Whatever will happen will actually benefit you. And I always believe the reason that people don't give time to themselves is because they are not ready to face their life. They have become so comfortable in the way the life is happening to them that they don't want to explore and make it any better. That is the comfort zone that people have gotten into. So start giving time to yourself, and in that time to self, many things will show up to you in your thought process. These are the areas that need your attention. And when you start paying attention to those areas one by one, layer by layer, you will notice the kind of change that you start experiencing in yourself. That's a beautiful journey to travel. When I started my journey as a trainer, a facilitator in the area of behavioral development, I realized this is the most important journey that anyone can travel, and that journey continues for the rest of life. And that was one reason that I moved into the path of continuous facilitation, coaching, learning. That was the prime reason, because it was contributing to my own exploration and development. So give time to yourself, because you are the most important person in your life, right? So if you like this idea, please share it in the comments that this idea was something interesting. Now, before I proceed further, I would also encourage you to share it with others in your network so that they also benefit from the conversation which is happening right at this place. Right? So, thanks for doing that. Second important thought that I want to share is ask people you trust. Why is it important to ask people you trust? And what I'm hinting at, what do you need to ask is ask for feedback. Ask for feedback from people you trust. Why I'm emphasizing that ask people you trust? Because when you ask anyone and everyone, you will have plethora of information. It will be more of opinions, it will be more of judgments, and perhaps none of those people are interested in your development and growth. Maybe. However, when you ask people you trust, they will show mirror to you. They will tell you perhaps point blank that this is the area that you need to address. And as you start working on that area, you will notice that change starts happening. And another word which is written here in the screen, blind spots. Do you agree with me that all of us have blind spots? There are certain areas of our lives we are not aware of, but others can see them very, very clearly. They may be the way we communicate, they may be the emotions that we demonstrate, that may be something related to body language, that may be some values that get projected in our actions. We are not aware of them because that is a pattern that has emerged in our day to day behavior, and we are not in touch with that. Others can see that, others can sense that. So that is why it's important to know those blind spots. Take the help of people you trust, who are close to you, who will be interested in your development, your growth. So this is the second important point that you can put into action for being more aware about yourself. So are you liking this conversation? Just say yes in the chat box so that it helps me to continue to do this kind of work for you all. Let's go to the next important point, which is recommended by many people when we talk about making progress in our own awareness, and that is journaling, writing down. And what is encouraged is make a physical journal, have a diary, have a notebook where you write your thought processes, your deepest emotions, your day to day experiences. And when you are articulating in words, in writing, you get a very, very clear picture of what all is happening in your life and what all needs to be developed, what all needs to be dealt with. So start journaling. That is a practice which is recommended by most of the people who are in the area of personal development and growth, that you must write your diary, your journal, where you can express yourself without any fear of being judged. And when it comes out of your internal system, perhaps a lot of healing happens just by that. So you can start writing your journal. Next important point is observe self and others. Observation is another gift that has been given to human beings. When you observe yourself, when you are interacting with others, when you are doing certain things, that observation raises your level of awareness about yourself. So it can happen that you are observing yourself right in the moment of that action. That is also possible. That is something that happens as you continue to practice observation over a period of time. And second way to do that is, after finishing a task, just look back in that moment, just finished something doing, and have a quick look back at that, and that will give you some insight. Okay, the way I was talking to this person, perhaps I shouldn't have used this language. Perhaps I shouldn't have demonstrated my emotions at that point of time. So, like this, as you observe yourself, you will be more aware about yourself, and you will be more aware about yourself in that given moment. That is a blessing that you can experience. And second important point that is mentioned here is observe others also. Why observing others is important? The simple reason is, when you observe others, you start noticing what is it that you like in them, what is it that you dislike in them, what are perhaps some of the triggers that come from them. And that observation also helps you to start dealing with those issues that come in front of you. So observe yourself and others. Another important step that you can take towards raising your awareness about yourself. Then comes another interesting way to develop your awareness, and that is read and reflect. So here it is not being said that just read something. And here I'm also recommending that whatever you read, reflect on that. You read a paragraph, you read a page, you read a chapter, reflect on what have you read. What happens with me many times is, I just finish reading a paragraph, and perhaps it has become my pattern that after reading that paragraph, I'll just go into my own thoughts. And what I realize is, that time that I take to pause after reading a bit, the processing happens, and that is what helps me in getting in touch with myself. Whatever I've read, I'm able to relate it to myself. So read and reflect whatever you read. And at times it is also recommended that read some fiction books, very uh, highly recommended fiction books. And when you read those fiction books, you can get into the characters, whatever characters are displayed or presented in the book. You can associate yourself with some of those characters, and okay, I'm also like that, I also behave like that, it's me. So that is another way to develop your awareness about yourself. Next important point, again, which is recommended by many practitioners, is that be in meditation and be mindful. So, what do I mean by meditation? Obviously, meditation is something that perhaps all of us know. Uh, Sit for some time. I always say that even if you are able to give about 5 minutes of time to meditation every day, that will start paving the way for your growth. So, what is it that you need to do? So, meditation is actually not doing anything, but just to get into that practice, I'm using the word do. What do you need to do when you meditate? If you are doing it, let's say, only for 5 minutes, put a music, soft music, instrumental music, just for 5 minutes. You can time it also. And why I am encouraging this timing is because I want you to get started. So if you play the music only for 5 minutes, the music will get over in 5 minutes, and you'll know perhaps this is time to come out of meditation. And after that music starts playing, close your eyes and just be with yourself. Whatever happens in those 5 minutes, let it happen. Don't try to control anything. Don't try to direct anything. Don't try to focus anywhere. Just be with yourself and let this experience evolve over a period of time. Second practice that I'm recommending here is, which is mindfulness. What is mindfulness? Being in the present moment with whatever activity that you're doing. So right now, I am having this Facebook live with you all. I'm entirely in this moment. I'm not thinking what will be the theme for the live session tomorrow. I'm not thinking whether my session is going well or not. I'm just here with you right now, talking about what is the point at hand, right? So practice mindfulness. When you practice mindfulness, you start noticing perhaps what are your distractions, what take your time and energy away from you, and what is it that can bring you back to that particular moment of time. Living in the present is one of the best things that can ever happen to all of us as human beings. So that will happen when you start practicing mindfulness. Next important point is the last point, and then obviously I'll share a bonus tip towards the end. Draw a timeline of your life. In our morning action takers club sessions, we do a visualization of this timeline in my own way. So draw a timeline of your life, which means relive your past. You can give yourself chunks of time, 0 to 5 years, 0 to 7 years, then 7 to 14 years, or 5 to 10 years, whatever way it works for you. So I'm not here again recommending anything specific. Just give yourself a time that what happened in my life from 0 to 5 years, what happened in my life from 5 to 10 years, 10 to 15 years, and so on, and bring yourself to the present moment. And whatever comes to your attention, whether those are experiences that you cherish, that you would like to relive, that you would like to recreate in your life, that's perfectly fine. And also, if some of those experiences come to the forefront, which were painful, and in fact, if they are coming up in your thought process, it's good in a way that they will tell you which are the emotions that are still hidden inside, which need to be dealt with, which need to be released from your system for your own betterment. So draw a timeline, and you can take the guidance of an expert in this field. You can get in touch with me also to understand how this process works, and I can guide you to create your timeline. And that's one of the very interesting exercises that you can ever do for yourself, right? So draw a timeline of yourself. The last thought that I'm sharing, which is a bonus tip, is that pay attention how you utilize your time. Time is the only resource that you have which is unidirectional. You can create all physical resources in your life, but time is unidirectional. Once it's gone, it's gone. It's read by everyone, it's written everywhere, it's told by everyone. So I'm just reiterating what you may have come to know already. That is why you need to understand that you have only this much of time in your life, and this clock is ticking, slowly moving, tick by tick, second by second, it is moving ahead. And I want you to pay attention to this, because I don't want you to reach a stage of your life and then say, oh my God, I could have done this in this time and that in that time. So the more we are able to start doing more useful work for ourselves, and here please understand, sometimes it is misconstrued as that such recommendation is telling people to become workaholics. No, I'm not suggesting that. I'm suggesting that take care of every aspect of your life. Your physical, mental, emotional well-being, your relationships, your professional growth, all are important, and all need to be balanced with each other. So what happens with most of us, many of us, is that we don't realize where our time is going. There's a very interesting story, quick story that I'm sharing with you, with which I'll close. Very interesting story that there was a person who used to watch a lot of TV, and perhaps somewhere he was stuck in his life. And once a speaker, when he was listening to him, he said that this is my challenge, that I watch TV a lot. Now the speaker started having a conversation with this person. Tell me, what is the cost of your TV? And he kept on telling the price at which he had bought. But the speaker's intention was to help him go beyond the price that he has paid. He wanted it to become, he wanted it to come to the awareness of this person that it's not the money that you have paid is the price, it's the time that it is taking away from you every single day. And if you convert that time into a month or a year, you'll find how big a chunk of time, and convert that into your ability to produce, ability to earn during that time, and you will realize it runs into perhaps lakhs and lakhs of rupees. So that is why it's important for each one of us to pay attention to where our time is going, so that we can become alert and do the course correction wherever it is required. So this is my bonus tip for you. To close, once again, I'll say, become a part of my boot camp, which is going to start on 24th of November. I look forward to meeting you there and have some more deeper conversations with you, help you to become more aware of yourself relating to this topic of today. And I'm sure you'll benefit from that conversation. Bye bye for now, and I look forward to meeting you. Leave your comments, and I'll be happy to respond to your comments there. Right? So if you have anything to say, you can put it in the comments. Let me see if I can. I'll use another platform to find out whether you have given any messages. Let me see. Just give me a moment, please. So the system is not allowing me to access that. So if you have anything to say, please share in the comments, and I'll be happy to respond to your comments. And as I said earlier, I'm just sharing with you again the link to access my bootcamp details. Here it is at the bottom of the screen. And I'll be happy to add value to your life. So here it is. I can see. So what are the comments that have come? I'll be happy to add value to your life. So here it is. I can see. So there's a question which has come is, can you define what is workaholism? Workaholism, my simple understanding is, your work has become everything for yourself. Your time, energy, everything keeps going into that. And the scale is so much tilted towards work that you ignore other important, perhaps even more important aspects of your life, which is your personal well being as well as strengthening your relations. Obviously, when you're giving more time to work, and the same time which is taken away from other areas of your life, so the scale of life gets imbalanced. So that is what my understanding, that you give a little too much time to work. You may be very passionate about it, that's perfectly fine, but you also need to realize that life is not standing on one pillar. There are multiple pillars that need to be taken care of. So that's what the question was, and that's what my understanding about it is. So if you have anything else to ask, please drop the question and I'll respond it there. Bye bye for now, and I'll meet you in my next live session. You will get the announcement. It is going to be tomorrow, obviously, and the timing is likely to be a little different. It will not be at 6 o'clock. So you will get the notification on all the platforms. So look forward to meeting you again tomorrow. Bye bye.